Turns out, I need an assistant to help me up here. What about you, girl with the hair?
Oh, I'm a girl with hair.
Yes, but what I need is...
Here for whatever you need.
You're gonna do great, Olivia.
Never mind. This just got entertaining. Think dead animals are gonna fly around?
All right, Olivia. Thanks for volunteering.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Disventure Dude, back today with another video. This time, it's my Disventure Camp Season 5, Episode 11 review. By the way, this will be my final episode review that will be delayed from the release, as from now on, my reviews will be released probably a day or two after the episode's release. Also, really quickly, I just recently started out this channel, so if you would like to subscribe, then that would be super appreciated. Episode 11 is once again a controversial one. However, this time, people are calling it the worst one of the season so far. Personally, I think that episode 11 is decent, and while I recognize some of the flaws in the episode, they don't drag the whole episode down for me. Most people's problem with the episode is the elimination, which I honestly do really understand, as it's kind of bad. Quick warning, this review will contain spoilers, so if you haven't already seen the episode, I suggest that you go watch it on the official Odd Nation Cartoons channel before finishing this video. A lot of people seem to think that Tom is going out soon, but after watching this episode, specifically this scene, I think that Tom is going to make at least the early merge. Some people are on Tom's side here, while others are on Natalia's. However, I'm on both. I think that Tom makes a point that Natalia should probably be considering his and Gabby's opinions more for like eliminations and stuff. However, Tom saying that Natalia just saw them as votes isn't fair at all, considering that just last episode Natalia threatened Ara over a small comment she made to Gabby. She also had the idea to get Gabby fruit to eat, even when Gabby told her not to. And when Natalia wanted to walk away and said that she was just like Tom, that was cold, bro. And the moment where Natalia says she's a woman who's not listening is hilarious in my opinion. It's just super funny. A lot of people are mixed on Spencer and his strategy this episode. However, I think that at least in this scene, he did pretty good strategically. Trying to keep the fire lit between Natalia and Rosa was a great move on his part, as if he was planning to start playing the game more publicly. He needed them to cause drama so he could stay away from the target. Also, is it just me, or has Rhea been mentioned a lot this season? Typically when Rosa is around. After only 5 episodes, we get to see another carnival, this time made by Ren. I'm a little confused as to how he made all of this without anybody on the fence waking up, but it's a great scene, so who cares? Turns out I was correct last episode when I said that Ren would probably help Dunia and Nora get together, as the entire point of this carnival was to do that. I found it funny how Ren was constantly screwing Ara over in favor of Dunia, but I also feel like this will make Ara target him the next time the fans lose. Another funny thing I found was Ren trying to get Ara away from Nora by having her be his assistant, and then Olivia trying to volunteer and completely ruining Ren's plans. The final thing that I found funny in this scene was Sam's constant commentary about the helicopter arriving and finding it disappointing that he didn't get to see the carnival. When the episode trailer released, I was super excited to see that after returning to Stawaki Carnival in episode 6, this challenge we'd be returning to Camp Tipiskaw. But to be honest here, this challenge was pretty underwhelming. The whole challenge was just the favourites getting chased by animals that they encountered in the past, like the tiger from the All-Stars final, or Freckles Jr.'s family. I do like that all of the animals liked Gabby though, and that she and the tiger's beef was resolved. When I saw the wolf from the Jensen episode, I genuinely thought that we'd see the return of Jensen, but unfortunately he didn't return, as seeing him and Tom beef would have been so funny. Either way, the challenge was sort of underwhelming, and while the idea was good, I wish the way they executed it was better. Also, watching this scene must have been painful for Finn. It's sad that Bruno was eliminated this episode, as he was just about to start some sort of arc. His dynamics with Tom were great, and it was good to see him interact with someone that wasn't Lake or Spencer for once. I think that Tom motivating him was pretty cool, and it just shows that underneath the humor, he has a very big heart. Can we all agree that the best character in Disventure Camp history is the Ghost? Forget Fiore and Hunter. The Ghost is just insanely good. It won a challenge for the fans, something that they could only do 4 times out of 10 prior to this episode. In all seriousness though, the fans winning another challenge is great, as this is the first time they have gotten a winning streak this season so far. Overall, the challenge is fine, but that's all I can really say for it, as the only thing that really happened was the favorites getting chased by animals. However, the idea of returning to Tipiskaw was very good, so I'll give it that. I feel so bad for Dunia, bro. If she sits in the fan shelter crying for the rest of the season, I would not blame her at this point, as this has got to hurt. Next episode, things are going to explode on the fans team, and I feel like Ren is going to end up cooking Aura over this. The one thing that interests me, though, is that after the kiss, it seems like Aura is actually developing feelings for Nora. So now, when Dunora officially happens, I'll still probably feel bad, but not for Dunia or Nora, but for Aura. Damn. The elimination is the most controversial part about the episode, and currently people are saying it's the worst one of the season. I think that is decent, and even though I totally understand why people hate it, I personally wouldn't go that far. As I said earlier in this video, Spencer's strategy was a mixed bag this episode, and now we're getting into why that is. I do think that Spencer taking out Bruno when he would vote anybody he wanted, just because Bruno was more liked than him, was so stupid, as if Spencer hadn't done this and continued to stick to the shadows, it would probably have been Natalia or Rosa going this episode, and he wouldn't have had to take the heat for anything. Which now, he's probably going to have some backlash next episode. So, not a great move on his part. Rosa is also taking some hate for her role in the elimination, but not nearly as much as Spencer. I can understand why she was nervous about Bruno betraying her considering what happened with Rhea, although I think that she probably should have talked to Bruno and gotten his explanation before voting him out. Another reason Spencer's strategy was bad is that Natalia or Fiore could have told Rosa and Lake what really happened with Spencer and Bruno, sending Spencer home. Overall, Spencer's strategy was sort of stupid this episode, but the only part that I agree with was keeping Natalia and Rosa's argument alive. I've already talked a good bit about the elimination, so I'll keep this quick. This elimination was one of 2 this season where I was genuinely confused as to who would be eliminated until the final vote, which I do like as it keeps the elimination unpredictable, even if it wasn't a great one. Bruno standing up to Spencer was satisfying, as Spencer has been super crappy to Bruno ever since episode 6. All in all, I think that this elimination is mid at best, but the only thing really holding it up for me is being the unpredictability. Overall, I think that episode 11 was decent. However, the episode has some flaws, such as the challenge and the elimination. Next episode, things are once again probably going to be pretty tense, so I'm very hyped to see what happens in episode 12. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for my next video, which should be out soon. Disventure Dude out.